EA Sports. It's in the game.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Back down now to hole number 6. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way.
Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
So in the first cut here, it could be worse. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Still even par for the day. Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards. So I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down, 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in. Even par currently.
You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a 3-shotter like it is for everybody else.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. Just a beautiful approach shot. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Player knows they're on the move with that birdie. Quick glance at the leaderboard. They can see, Frank, they're not out of it.
Things are very volatile right now.
Frank, the 9th hole at 452 yards with that water down the right is really a test of a player's driving ability, isn't it?
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards, and you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also he'll punish it if it's wayward.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Getting set now over the putt. Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie, now in second.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
It is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. This would be nice. A birdie on the card. See if he can make it. Starting to play some good golf. With that birdie, moves to 4 under for the tournament. Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards. Good contact, good result. Frank, this TPC Stadium course in La Quinta, California has quite a history, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Every style of golf, age group, whether it's someone trying to get their tour card at the tour school, skins games played here from 1986 to 1991, even the PGA Club Professional Championship, they've all come and played here. It's so good to see it on the back on the rotation. But I've got to say, the one thing, and I was there, in 2000, it was the PGA Tour Q School. It was won by Stephen Allen, who was an Australian player. But the worst thing I've ever seen on a golf course happened on Alcatraz, 17th hole there. Joe Daly, who was looking like he was going to make his PGA Tour card, had a putt of about 3 feet. And I think he was playing with Craig Perks, who went on to win the Players' Championship. Joe Daly hits this putt against the back of the hole, the liner in the hole, and popped out on the front lip. Never saw that before. It was amazing. And as luck would have it, Joe Daly missed his tour card by 1 shot.
That was as cruel a twist as I have ever seen in golf. presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Setting up to start the back nine here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front nine, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Frank, is this a definite green light, the approach at the par 4 10th?
Well, there's enough opportunities at PGA West for the long hitters. This is an opportunity for the really good iron players. This is where they have a chance to shine, because a good iron player will give himself a birdie putt here. A poor iron player here, all of a sudden they'll find trouble.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Score that, birdie. Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. Little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided. I'm loving that balance.
Frank, what's involved here in the third shot now at the par 5 11?
Just really setting up a good angle for that third shot. This is, when you lay up, it always pays just to check where the flag is. You want to sort of have a nice, comfortable look or angle to the flag.
Birdie try again here today. Continues to roll it very well all day long. To the par 4 12th here at PGA West, short at 363 yards. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, long gone are the days when you putted with a simple blade. Now you look down and there's a frying pan on the end of a shaft.
Yeah, it looks like grandma's skillet these days. That's what it is. But, you know, putters are like drivers. What they've done with the technology is given you a bigger sweet spot. Even though putting is very, very precise, if you give a person a bigger sweet spot, he's going to make more putts.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Frank, that looked good to me. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. He needs this for par. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Frank, what do you make of this par 3 13th at 214 yards?
It's another example of Pete Dye using those sort of very harsh wooden bulkheads that give you that such a definitive line around the edge of the green. Plus, it's his ability to turn a straight hole into a very angular or crooked-looking hole.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's that sneaky distance.
that. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Moving into this second shot here at hole number 14. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live third round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. 14th hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. 2 options really. Poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play. 290, 300 yard category and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
Frank, what do you like here on this approach shot at 14?
Green is more triangular. It's wider at the front, narrows as you get towards the back of this green. If you're going to go at that back flag, you can perhaps bring something in there a little lower and sort of skip it up. Apart from that, just a nice, high, soft landing short iron.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Just a couple of feet. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Now to the par 4 15th hole, 468 yards. Frank, what do you like about number 15?
The variation of the bunkering here, Rich, I think is excellent. The bunker that meanders its way down the right side tends to go to the right, and then you start to see those 2 bunkers down the left side. You've really got to try and take that second one on the left out of play. That requires something in excess of 280 yards. From there on in, you've got a chance.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Trying to make yet another birdie. good putt. Par 5 16th is a slight dogleg left at 600 yards. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Second shot.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Continuing to putt with confidence. Par 3 17. It is the signature hole here at PGA West. They call it Alcatraz with good reason. You can get locked up here and they'll throw away the key. It's a place that has spoiled a lot of rounds through the years. That would be a great look at birdie. Getting set now over the putt. Makes the putt for a birdie. Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway.
Frank, this approach shot seems pretty straightforward. Just don't hit it left.
Yeah, it's a tough second shot. It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You're allowed to move that flag mentally 15, even 20 feet to the right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's the final round of the Career Builder Challenge.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play until you finish the hole.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Frank, what's the key here? Second shot at 14.
Green sits up a little bit, well protected by those bunkers there. A nice, high, soft landing shot.
That is a shot that would be replayed over and over. Solid par 4 here. The 15th is 468 yards.
That's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, the 15th is called turning home. Time now to turn on the jets, and a good chance.
Yeah, after a good drive, once again, height's going to be rewarded here with the second shot. See the way that green is protected by the bunkers. So if you can come in here really high, get that to land soft, there's a lot of flags on this green that you can go at.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Here we go now, the final par 5 of the day, Frank.
Yeah, decision on how much you bite off here. If you play the ball to the right, then it's going to play its full 600 yards. But if you can take it in a direct line at that green, you're going to chew off a little bit of yardage. But you have to be able to carry that bunker.
And through the years, a lot of excitement here at this par 5 16. Second from an excellent lie. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough. And missing it off the tee here. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. And setting up here in the rough.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
A sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole today.
Birdie try again here today. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Well, there it is. They call it Alcatraz. Just sitting out there on the water, 168 yards away, Frank.
Well, speaking of water, that water looks so peaceful, doesn't it? It'd be a shame to spoil it with a splash.
on the green, and a chance for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Mark that as a birdie on the card. One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the 3 bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. Because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Chance to win right here, the Career Builder Challenge. Okay, no problem with that one. And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only in the course today, but all week long.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular site for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Headed for the bunker, I think.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Settles in over the putt. Frank, the good players continue to play good golf, even if they're not winning or in the top 5.
Yeah, that position's starting to look a little brighter than what it was at the beginning of the day. Now in the top 25.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Birdie try up next. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy. Featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Now to the 17th, and Frank, fair to say this is one of the best short par 4s in all of golf?
It is. The drivable par 4 that's designed the way it's meant to be played is a winner. The ones that are just shortened to be made drivable, they don't work. This was designed to be a 17th hole, and it was designed to be drivable. You couldn't get a better place, and you couldn't get a better par 4.
Chance to get it close here. Frank, even at major championships, a good crowd on a single day might be 25 to 30,000. Consider this for just a moment. At the TPC Scottsdale in 2013, round number 3 on Saturday, almost 180,000 fans jammed into that ballpark.
It's hard to imagine that's twice the gate at a Super Bowl on a golf course. Now, obviously, some of it's hidden because of the size of the acreage, but golf just doesn't get that type of crowds anywhere else in the world. But it works at TPC Scottsdale. They have a crowd that keeps going back. They have the Bird's Nest, for example, that goes there. The parties that ring around there. It's an atmosphere that golf never gets anywhere else, but it really works here. The players feel it too. They breathe it. And this is 1 week of the year, just 1 week, where they do feel like superstars.
It's a mix of soft spikes and stiletto heels. There's nothing quite like the TPC Scottsdale. It's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Giant putter heads, fat grips. What's happening with putter technology these days, Frank?
One of the things they've done is face balance. That means the putter face doesn't rotate around, especially when it's not hit perfectly. So a putter that doesn't move around as much means it's going to stay squarer. A putter that stays squarer means the ball's going to go on line more.
That will be a great look at birdie. Now a 7-footer. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, I want to get some in the top 10.
So, one round in the books and a lot to chew on here.
There is. This is going to be a tough championship to pull away. The standard of golf, especially that first page of the leaderboard. Excellent golf.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything. Birdie opportunities, holes that are fraught by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week. Safely on deck.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Solid par. A lot of great golf early on. Let's get you out to the action at the 5th. Even par through the early portion of this second round. Frank, not a bad spot.
Yeah, sort of rocking on ready, sitting on go. That's what it looks like right now.
That was just a beautiful drive. You hit it solid and right in the middle. This, the second shot here at the par 4. Sit down, get down.
Oh, this is going.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
These putts keep the round together. Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
I like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy.
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. This is a good move. Another birdie. Now to 5 under for the tournament. Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Just misses. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
In for par. There you have it, Frank. The second round is complete. What are your thoughts?
I think anybody looking at this leaderboard, anybody in the top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly in a good position to win. Quality of the golf there in that first 10 is excellent.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Morrish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
180 yards away, ready to play the second shot. really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today.
Things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Par 4 sixth, and Frank, a couple of options here.
Yeah, a hole that bends to the left. A draw is the preferred shot off the tee. The longer hitters will have a big advantage. They'll be able to get it down there and just have a pitch or a short wedge into this. If you're not, that long, then you're going to have to lay it back short of those bunkers. That's going to leave a lengthy second shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Here we go. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Now to the second par 3 on the front 9. This is the 7th hole.
Yeah, quite a stiff par 3 because of the narrowness in the front. Really favoring a higher shot that's going to land softly. And therefore you can open up that green. Because the further back you go, the wider it gets.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
No, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, I thought he had that. That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Just a sloppy hole, no other way to say it, and it results in a double bogey. Now here at the par 4 8th, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of 2 bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those 2 bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Now playing the second here at the par 4. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Starting to move now, Frank, on this leaderboard.
Certainly going all in the positive direction. He's in the middle of the pack, now top 15.
Finishing out the front side now at the 9th. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front 9, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. 1 bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. And that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th. Frank, the beauty of golf, we're not playing inside a dome with no wind. You have to be able to handle the elements.
You do, and that's really where the better player comes through. On a day like today, anything around par is going to be a good score, so just adjust your own mental par.
hide the flagstick from that man. So a tester from 4 feet.
And yet another birdie, this time inching into the top 5.
Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Good roll, solid, that's a par. Par 4, 14th, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And, of course, that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. And getting ready for the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, well, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole. Find the fairway, you can reach this par 5 and 2. A little bit of an island-looking green there, bunker on the left, and also another bunker just short right. But a fairway missed here. Well, you can rack up 5, 6, 7. We've seen all sorts of scores here at 15.
This one's looking good. Couldn't have done much better than that. Eagle is very possible. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Well, that may have gotten the leader's attention. Into the top 10 with an eagle.
They had to have heard that roar.
Well, here we are at the 16th hole, looking at just over 160 yards. Doesn't seem all that daunting, Frank. But 160 yards with 20,000 people, horned into a little stadium in the desert, that makes it a different story.
It certainly is. This was one hole, too, where Tom Watson would send his caddy forward. He would stay back by 15. His caddy would get his yardage. Watson would simply walk on the tee. His caddy would give him the club. He would not go through his normal routine. He would simply just head away. It was one hole that he never wanted to think about. It might look simple, but it's what the player feels.
And with that birdie, moves to third place. Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byram's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past.
After that birdie, we have a brand new leader on top of this leaderboard.
Deservedly so.
That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
It was a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Biggest crowds in all of golf, and a big putt right here to win the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire. And I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.